Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. Let me get this fixed real quick. I wanted to do a quick video. It's Sunday, and I'm getting ready to go to church, and I wanted to do a quick video on my thoughts regarding the Ukraine and Russian conflict. Well, actually, Ukraine, America, and Russian conflict. And it's not necessarily my thoughts on the conflict specifically, more what it means, in my opinion, what it shows regarding specifically the West and America. And that is more so what I want to get into in this quick video. In some of my previous videos, I have discussed some of the shortcomings of the West. And one of those, in my opinion, and there are some neocons that would disagree with me, including my grandpa, people who have raised me and given me a lot of beliefs that I have today. But some of those things that I have mentioned are the massive separation that exists between church and state in America has led to this very non-religious country that is simultaneously trying to push religious, or rather Christian, morals in a country that has zero Christian backing. The reality is America is not, at least the government is not, a Christian nation. And the founders made sure of that. That was one of the big fundamental underlyings of what they pushed forth, was a separation between church and state. And that has to do very much with their Protestant faith and the, not restoration, but separation from the Eastern Orthodox and Catholic faiths. And we are seeing in modern day this kind of ending result of all of that. I'm going off the cuff here, so I'm going to try and keep it all syncretic. Some of the things that I'm thinking now. Does that have a direct impact on the current situation? No. But what I'm getting at is very simple. If you look at Russia, okay, they have openly mocked America for their lack of, and the West, for their lack of morals, for the pushing of LGBTQ, transgenderism, CRT, critical race theory, diversity, and all of that gobbledygook nonsense. They have openly mocked America for that and the West. Now, in my opinion, the only reason that, or the ending result of that coming to be, is this separation between church and state and this non-identity that America has, which leads me to my next point, the non-identity that America has. If you look at Russia and you were to ask a Russian, even one that lives in America, what it means to be Russian, I guarantee you most of them will have a very similar answer. And they will indeed be able to answer the question. Whereas if you were to ask an American what it means to be an American, like, for example, me, if someone were to ask me that, okay, I think my answer would be very in line with most conservatives, but it would not be the same across the board. My answer would be what it means to be an American is to be free, to be Christian, to have the right of self-determination, to love one's country, having some sort of nationalistic pride in your country. I would also add that it is what it means to be American is kind of a European white descent cultural backing in the country, which it does. It does. Now, I will also admit that currently Black culture has a huge infusion into America and what some of the big cultural phenomenons are, such as rap music and things like that. But overall, the biggest underlying tone is that of our European ancestors. Okay. That is a very syncretic answer from me. Now, if you were to ask most Americans that same question, I guarantee you that a majority would not only not know how to answer that, but they have no basis in which to answer it at all because they haven't been taught. They have not been taught from anyone what it means to be an American. Okay. And so they can't even answer it. And so what I'm getting at is that in America, not only in the government, which I will get to after I make this point, but in its majority of the population, AKA the people, the average American, they are completely void and empty with substanceless answers as to what it means to be an American because there is none for them. They don't know. And currently, a lot of the issues that we are running into and a lot of the conflicts that we are running into is because of that very phenomenon. That the ending point of the beginning point, which was the revolution and the Constitution and America being pushed forward, the ending point of that and all of the philosophy that guided the revolution and the coming into existence of a nation, the ending point of that, and I would specifically point to the separation between church and state, is a directionless, purposeless nation that has no idea what it is on the inside, what it is, what it means to be an American. And you also see that with the government. I forget who this guy's name is. I actually listened to some of his talks a couple of days ago while I was on my while I was on break at work. And he, by the way, maybe you guys can find him. He is I'm pretty sure he's British. He sounded British. I don't know if he is alive today, but he was definitely alive in the 70s and the 80s. I would even go so far as the 60s. Very wealthy guy, entrepreneurial type guy, but he was also a philosopher, British guy. Again, I forget his name. But the video that I was watching was just some like advice. And one of the things that he talked about was how important it is to turn ideas into reality. And he said that is why he always jots things down on a piece of paper, because it instantly makes it a reality. Because once you take it from here and write it down, it is real. It is in real life. And he gave some other examples of things that are just ideas and not real, and some actions, commonly held beliefs that are not in the physical realm. And he gave examples of things that are in the physical realm and how they got there. And he talked about Vietnam. And he said the reason why America lost in Vietnam, or it was a failure in Vietnam, no matter how, which I will also get to that point, the fact that America has lost its last several battles, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and there's been some success there. I got it. And like I said, I will get to that. The ultimate point I'm going to make there is that they will fail in Ukraine too. But I will get to that. He said that the reason that it was a failure in Vietnam is because we went over there without a purpose or without any real mission. He gave the example that we went over there to fight and stop communism, some abstract idea. You cannot complete something or be successful in something as abstract as stopping communism. An example of something that would be successful is going over there to colonize, or going over there to win at any cost and dominate that country. An actual physical, tangible thing that you can do and measure it by the actions when you get there. And because America went there without any tangible or substantive idea, they failed because they went over there to quote unquote stop communism, which is, again, just an abstract idea. And that is why they failed. So that is that. By the way, this is a picture I took while I was out at work. This is it's in a decent area where I live. And this is a mass homeless encampment and I'm going to do a larger video on this, showing the mass homelessness that currently exists. But this is right off of a major freeway. And, it's just absolutely terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Look at this. Look at this. So currently in America, you have three things that led to the fall of the Roman Empire. You have mass homelessness. You have mass debt, aka the economy sucks. So that's the first two. And number three, you have a massive distrust from the people with regards to the effectiveness of government. That leads to failure. Now, I don't know if the end of America will be in 100 years. I would be shocked if America made it another 100 years. I'm predicting that it will all be over by the time I'm 70 years old, because it just can't go on like this. Now, I just wanted to show you this to make a point. How in God's name are we going to go to Ukraine and help Ukraine fight Russia when we can't even deal with this problem right here? Now, you could say, well, Life as a Chad YouTube channel guy. Well, homelessness is a part of civilization. It just happens, sure, but not at this level, okay? Not at this level. Homelessness is usually a example of how well or unwell a country is, how healthy or unhealthy it is. And because of the huge amount of homelessness in America right now, America is indeed very unhealthy. Now, going back to what I was saying with regards to losing the last couple of wars since the 1960s, Vietnam, which was a failure, absolute and utter failure. Okay. Now, my grandpa, who is a neocon, and myself, I am a paleocon. America First individual, my grandpa would say, well, and I'm not trying to, I love my grandfather, but he would say that we did not fail, and any shortcomings that we had was only because of the nonsense that was going on in the American government, which may be true. But nonetheless, we went over there. Did we stop communism? No, fuck no, we didn't. Did we colonize Vietnam? Fuck no, we did not. So if you go, so I have two questions for you, okay, audience. One, since the 1960s, what amazing thing has the leader of the free world done that has had remarkable positive feedback for a few years? Well, not a few years, but what since the 1960s, has there been anything that the leader of the free world has done that you have been able to say, wow, that was fucking impressive? The only thing that I can think of is making it to the moon. Okay. And I don't want to get into whether the moon landing actually happened. Looking at how disingenuous the government is, it would not surprise me if it was fake. But, you know, that's, you know, let's say hypothetically it's true. Okay. That would be the one achievement that happened that would be just that, an achievement that will have lasting ramifications. But other than that, there's nothing, especially in the last 20 years. Since I have been alive, there has not been one thing that the leader of the free world has done that has been remarkable. And that is one of the things that got Donald Trump into office, which is he wanted to shoot for remarkableness, for esteem, for glory, for American glory, which used to be what America was about, which is what it meant to be an American, striving for greatness. That's what it used to mean. But of course, even Donald Trump failed, and he had multiple opportunities to get in there and do something that would be course of history altering, or alter, whatever. So you understand what I'm saying. And he did not. So let me ask you, since America has lost its last two wars, Afghanistan was a complete failure. If one of the former monarch kings had lost a long-term battle in that way, they would have been ran out of town and the next king would be up. That's how big of a fucking failure that was. Make no mistake, that was a failure. A massive, both Vietnam, it's not like we went to war with England or Russia or China and lost. You know, some of the other superpowers. We went to war with third world countries and lost. And lost. It should have never even been close. But the reason why we failed is because we went over there without purpose, without focus on what it was we were trying to achieve. Because ultimately, just like Vietnam in quote unquote stopping communism, we went over there to quote unquote give the Middle East democracy, some abstract idea. How do you measure that? How do you fucking measure that? We went over there to institute LGBTQ rights. The Middle East don't give a fuck about LGBTQ rights. And plus, how do you even measure that? We went over there to insert feminism in a culture who utterly and completely rejects feminism. But again, that is totally an abstract objective. As opposed to going over there and saying, no, we will occupy this country and we will colonize, we will utterly and completely destroy the Middle East. That's a real world objective that you can measure and complete. So let me ask you, given the recent track record of America in wars, and given the fact that America is striving to put LGBTQ, diversity, critical race theory, and all this shit towards other countries and in our own American military, do you really expect America to save Ukraine? No, fuck no, they're not. Which means that America is better off figuring out how to keep their own country from utter disaster. So those are my thoughts on the conflict. I think it is a waste. I would be lying if I said I cared about Ukraine. I don't want them to be hurt, but at the same time, Americans are struggling. America is on the verge of collapse, and Russia knows it, which is why they're doing what they're doing, because they know America does not have the strength to deter Russia off of their own force. And this speaks to a larger issue that America has. It is directionless. It is purposeless. And I think we are nearing the end, unless there is a massive change that happens. You have a huge populace who lives under American rule, but has no idea what it means to be American. Not only that, but they could care less that they're American. You have an atheistic, scientific, immoral nation, and you wonder why it's failing. We have a president who fucking falls asleep during interviews while he's talking, and he's falling asleep while he's talking, like he's talking in his sleep. Come on, Joe. Be better. You know how girls say that? Be better. Be better. So those are my thoughts. It's a complete and utter waste of time. America has its own issues to deal with, and they need to do it quickly, or things are going to unravel with a quickness. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the subscribe button, because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. The channel is growing. I don't know how many subs the channel is at right now, but I know it was approaching 50, which is awesome. Who knows? Maybe I can turn this into a career. Well, not a career, but, just something that who knows what it'll turn into. I don't know, but I enjoy this, and I enjoy conversing with other people, and we'll see what happens. So smash that subscribe button. At the very least, like, comment, and share. You know the drill. I will see you guys next time. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow, and facts are feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. See you all next time. Bye-bye.